You have spent your entire day navigating a world that demands your constant, undivided attention. From the moment you wake up, your brain is firing on all cylinders, managing what psychologists call executive functions. You are planning, you are deciding, and you are overthinking every micro-interaction of your social and professional life. But then, the sun goes down, and you find yourself spiraling into a void of meaningless content. You spend 3 hours watching repetitive memes, colorful loops, or the chaotic sounds of things like Sprunki. There is a voice in the back of your head, a cold, judgmental whisper, telling you that you are wasting your potential. It tells you that someone as intelligent as you should be reading a book or learning a new skill. But what if that voice is wrong? What if this descent into brainrot isn't a sign of laziness, but a vital survival mechanism for your modern brain? To understand this, we have to look at the sheer energy cost of being smart. High-functioning individuals often suffer from a phenomenon known as decision fatigue. Every choice you make, from the tone of an email to the route you take home, drains a finite pool of mental energy. By the time you sit on your couch, that pool is bone dry. Your brain is screaming for a break, but not the kind of break that involves more processing. It doesn't want a complex documentary or a deep philosophical debate. It wants to switch to passive mode. This is cognitive offloading in its purest, most desperate form. When you watch something completely nonsensical, you are giving your executive functions permission to go offline. There is no plot to track, no character motivations to analyze, and no moral lessons to learn. The content is meaningless, and in that lack of meaning, there is a profound sense of safety. Modern life is fundamentally chaotic and increasingly unpredictable. Your brain is a pattern recognition machine that is constantly trying to predict the future to keep you safe. But the brainrot loops you find yourself watching are different. They are highly predictable, often rhythmic, and satisfy the brain's craving for consistency without any processing cost. It is a low-stakes way to trigger dopamine release. You are getting the reward of stimulation without the tax of intellectual labor. This is especially true for the lonely or the overanalytical mind. If you are someone who feels the weight of the world, these digital snacks act as a temporary shield against the noise of your own thoughts. It is a form of mental recovery that our ancestors never had to invent because their lives weren't this digitally crowded. We need to stop labeling this behavior as a sign of declining intelligence. In fact, it is often the most intelligent people who need this extreme form of mental silence the most. Your brain is not broken. It is simply seeking a way to recharge after a day of being hyper-aware. So, the next time you find yourself deep in a rabbit hole of nonsense, stop the internal critique. Recognize it for what it is: a necessary pause in a world that refuses to stop talking. You are allowed to turn off the lights in your mind for a while. You are allowed to just exist without purpose, without growth, and without pressure. Because once the battery is recharged, your intelligence will be there, waiting to take on the world again. Be kind to your mind, for it carries a heavier load than you realize. If this perspective helped you breathe a little easier today, consider joining our community. We are all just trying to understand the machinery of our own hearts.